So, a multi-million-dollar corporation, a comic book website, just tried to do a ranking video of the strongest characters in Black Clover, and they failed miserably. So, I'm going to be going over that in this video. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also check out my light novel series that I release weekly for fun called 9 Fates at my website, 9fates.com. That being said, let's get into the video. So guys, you've probably heard of CBR. They're kind of a meme in the anime Twitter community because a lot of their articles on anime are just particularly not very well written in terms of accuracy. And I want to be fully transparent here. A couple months ago, I did apply to CBR to become a writer about manga and anime to specify in Black Clover. Now, they did not hire me. Now, I actually never expected to be hired by CBR, and that's for multiple reasons. One, I had made multiple videos and tweets essentially debunking a lot of their articles, and that is from Screen Rant, which is owned by the same company as CBR, and then also CBR itself on Twitter and other YouTube posts. So, I never expected to get the job because I had voiced criticism of their articles many times in the past. But I thought it'd be cool, I could do YouTube part-time, personal training part-time, and also write maybe a few articles a week for CBR and write about Black Clover, write them better than what they're currently being written. And honestly, it's because I was going to make a video voicing my opinions on some of their Black Clover articles, and then I realized, I saw apply today, I'm like, maybe it'd be better instead of just disparaging an article, I could become a writer for them and just write better articles, and then there wouldn't be need to make videos on them because they'll be better written. But then I did never expect to get hired. I didn't. It's probably partially because of me making videos on their articles in the past, but honestly, it's whatever. So now, I'm gonna make these videos on CBR and their articles of Black Clover. If they're bad, there are some pretty good ones though, I will be honest, but a lot of them are not very good. They're just clickbait articles written very poorly. But I'm not making this video because they didn't hire me. I wouldn't be making it now, 2 months after the fact. I would have made this a long time ago. I've actually made videos about CBR years ago, so this has nothing to do with that, but I just saw this video, and it is not only just misinformation about Black Clover, but this article is also very poorly written, and it doesn't seem like they even have an editor that went over this to make sure it was good enough to be published on their website, which gets millions of views a month. So I'm going to get into this ranking, but I do want to clarify, guys. This isn't just the anime. This is about the manga. And so I'm going to go over it and discuss it. Now, they start off with number 15. Asta is the most powerful of them all. And honestly, I would agree. He is the strongest character right now. I'm not going to go over too much of what they say about this. I'm just going to straighten into the next one, which is when I'm going to get into my gripes of how poorly written this article is. So, again, I would agree that Asta, should be in this list of the top 15 strongest characters in Black Clover. But let's go over how this is written for Yuno. Yuno has 3 channels of power. First, he is a wind mystic. Second, he carries the 4-leaf clover grimoire. This increases his ability to quickly defeat enemies. His third channel is possibly by far the most important, and he talks about how it's his relationship with Asta. Well, for one, yes, technically, the 4-leaf clover increases his ability to quickly defeat enemies, but it's because it's the grimoire of luck. It doesn't really necessarily increase his ability to quickly defeat them directly. It's an alternate way. It's also the fact that they say that he has 3 channels of power, and they don't even mention Bell, the wind spirit, one of the main channels of his power. Ugh, okay, anyways, number 13 is Lolopechka. They say that she has overwhelming magic, and I don't know. I actually probably would not put her at 13. Or put her on this list of the top 15 because she's not a combat mage. She's not that strong. She's a good support mage, but we don't know her power at all. All we know is that she got fodderized by Vanica pre-time skip at 70%, which makes her not strong whatsoever. And if we go through the writing, they say it's not a surprise that Lolopechka has overwhelming magic. After all, she's the ruler of the Hearts Kingdom. Wrong, it should be the Heart Kingdom. Again, it's a nitpick, but remember, this is a multi-million-dollar company that should have an editor to go over and change that. True bravery and power come from a combination of that and a determined soul. Her power is not from her bravery. She's strong because she inherits all the power of the past Heart Queens, and she has the water spirit. Yet this is not mentioned in the article. The next one is 12. I'm going to say Vanica's power comes from possession. Though a member of the Dark Triad and possessed by the devil Magicula, Vanica is pretty happy wizard. Rightfully so, as she's one of the more powerful in the world of Black Clover. When needed, she can generally access up to 75% of Megicula's strength. Guys, she's never used 75% once in the manga. Once, let alone generally. She hasn't used it a single time. She's used between less than 50, which we didn't get any number specified, less than 50, between 50 and 70%, and then we've seen 100%. We have never seen 75%. And then they write, this gives her superhuman abilities that include cursing her enemies. However, Vanica can't curse spirits as Megicula can. Still, she's a tough customer to handle. Again, this gets into how poorly written. When we're talking about a fantasy series and ranking characters, really saying a tough customer to handle? A tough customer to handle. I just feel like that's poor writing in my opinion, but it's also just misinformation paired with it. I'll agree that she's in probably the top 15, but that's because of 100% mana, Devil Mana. This is just, it gets worse from here, guys. It gets a lot worse. Number 11, Zenon Zagretis can manifest dual mana. Another member of the Spade Kingdom's Dark Triad, Zenon Zagretis is more powerful than Vanica. He can simultaneously handle 2 forms of magic at once. I mean, this is almost like in a way implying that Vanica can't, but you know she can. Like, no, it's literally blatantly stated in the manga that the Dark Triad are all equal in power to each other. So, again, don't know why they are saying that Zenon's stronger when we have statements saying that they're all equal to each other. This person probably hasn't read Black Clover, so I don't know why they're writing articles about Black Clover, because this is actually basic information. Anyways, they say that Zenon has the ability to access 100% of his devil's power. Since he's supposedly one of the strongest possessors, this means Zenon's powers are practically unmeasurable at full strength. Well, this is also wrong, because it is measurable. It's compared, the 100% triad are equivalent to a supreme devil, so they're equivalent to Lilith and Nama. So it is measurable. We can get a gauge of their power. And also, this article shows right here that 100% he can use it. But then, why does Vanica at 75%? This article is just... I do agree that Zenon should be in the top 15, but it's just very poorly written. Number 10, Patoli has an infinite reserve of mana. I mean, he doesn't. There was one statement that said he had a bottomless amount of mana, but that was one statement. There's no evidence that he has infinite amount of mana. But anyways, honestly, the actual writing of this, not very poorly written, but Patoli, or Patri, he's not in the top 15. He's just clearly not. We've seen what he's done. Even Elf Patri, he's not top 15. Demon Light Magic Patri, not top 15. There's just way too many stronger characters now. I would definitely not put Patri in there. I don't want to get too much in depth, because this would make this like a 45 to an hour long video if I went in depth why. And then number 9. This is where this article just almost made me have an aneurysm. Number 9. Noel Silva, power is immense. And they show a picture of Nozel Silva. So, the article is about Nozel. But come on, in the title you put Noel Silva? This is not a hard fix. Sure, if you write the article first, and then you reread it, because you're supposed to edit your own work, and then you send it to an editor. How did this get through? And then not only it gets worse in the actual writing. Read this, guys. While he may be arrogant and look down on commoners, there's no denying Noel Silva's immense magic power. After constantly training in Mercury magic, Nozel can adapt to any situation, even against mages with a power advantage. The magic's versatility allows him to create a variety of shapes and forms to either attack, defend, or transport himself and others. When Patoli became a dark elf, Noel was not the least bit concerned with his increase in power. I'm going to stop there, because this just shows how poorly written this is. Like, this is a multi-million-dollar company. They write about comic books, and the title is wrong, and then they switch between Noel and Nozel in the writing. This is something that is fine in a first draft. Noel and Nozel are similar names, but the fact that this got published, and it's been published for over a month, is insanity. Very, very, very deep look into CBR and what they're allowing to publish on their platform. Number 8, Yami Tsukihiro is both magic and brute. Now, I went over and read this. The writing is not poor on this one, and honestly, Yami might be, he probably is top 15, because he went against an 80% Dante, even though he couldn't defeat him without Asta's help. But he's probably on the lower end. In fact, he's definitely on the lower end of 15 now, because you have the Light Triad all above him easily, the Cliffop Devils above him, you have the Dark Triad at 100% all way above him. That's what, 3, 6, 8 right there, and then there's probably some of their captains above him. Even Noct is probably above him. I did a video on that. And this goes to number 7. That is, the Queen of Witches has centuries of experience. The Witch Queen, guys. Now, people just think she's strong because she is the queen of a small country. She does have cool powers, so she's been alive for hundreds of years, but what she's really done is nothing. We didn't really see her fight that much, except against Vanessa, and she got BTFO'd by Rouge, the Fate Cat, but we also know how strong her mana is. We know that she said that many elves had more mana than her, or had as much mana as her. This means that she actually is essentially on the level of regular elves in Black Clover, because if you read it in that context, that could mean that the majority of the elves had as much or more mana than her, and that means she's not that strong. In the elf arc, the elf reincarnation arc, the Clover Kingdom fought an army of elves. Witch Queen having just regular elven mana, she wouldn't be that strong. Now, if we see her again, she's probably going to have a power increase, but yeah, it's just, I wouldn't put her on this list, not even close. Number 6, Mario Leona Vermilion. I would probably agree because she's fighting an ancient demon with her new Hellfire magic. It's not a poorly written portion of the article, so I'm going to skip ahead. And the next one is Fulgolion. Now, Fulgolion, I could see possibly being on the edge of 15. I'm not going to go too much into the actual scaling of this video, like I've said, because, you know, that would take probably 45 minutes to an hour to explain why each character is ranked a certain way. I might do a live stream on this at some point, or actually write my own article and make a video on it. I don't know, but honestly, Fulgolion, probably close. He was easily defeating multiple Dark Disciples at once, and defeating like squadrons of low-ranking devils at once as well, but we don't necessarily know how strong the low rankers are. We haven't even seen him kill mid-rankers yet. Technically, Luck, in his Raijin form, has higher feats than Fulgolion right now. So, again, this portion of the article is not poorly written like the others, and Fulgolion could be top 15, but it gets worse. As number 4, Julius Novachrono is the current Wizard King on this list, even though he's a child, with low magic and 1 page in his grimoire. And this is where it contradicts like previous stuff. They said the Wizard King is the most powerful mage in the Clover Kingdom, but they just said Asta was the strongest in the previous portions of this article. Yeah, again, Julius is a kid. He's not the strongest in the kingdom. He has no really good feats, and he's a kid now. Like, why is he in this? This is the current manga, and they put Julius in there. And then for number 3, they put Lumiere, which honestly, Prime Lumiere potentially could be the top 15. Definitely not Stone Statue Lumiere, but this version, the Prime version Lumiere, could be. This article, this portion's not really poorly written per se, but it's also just not very well informed. There is a spelling error they called Patroli, which again, a kind of a nitpick in terms of the an error, but again, that I don't know how this gets through. That's an easy fix. Run it through Grammarly, or run it through and just read it and make sure you actually spell things correctly. I don't get how it is that hard. But if we also just read the final paragraph, during his final confrontation with the ancient demon Licht, he even creates giant constructs of light to put an end to its rampage. Again, they're kind of putting this feat to Lumiere when it was Sekre using the Swallowtail device to steal a bunch of magic from the ancient demon Licht. It wasn't Lumiere defeating it. It was a joint effort there. And they put Licht at number 2. Licht is the original holder of Asta's grimoire. Again, like, putting Licht on the list and then saying that Patri is nowhere near Licht. Why is Patri on the list if Licht is way stronger than him and Licht isn't even that strong anymore? This is poorly written. They say that Licht uses powers that Asta is not yet aware of. We've seen what Licht can do. He's seen what Licht can do. He can't do all of it because he doesn't have magic, but he's aware of it. So again, kind of written weird, but this gets to number 1. And they put Zagred at number 1. Now, it's not really poorly written like a lot of the other stuff. There's not really spelling errors, but Zagred at number 1 is... I wouldn't put him in number 1. I probably wouldn't even put him top 15. But let's just go over why this is wrong for him to be on here and not the Supreme Devils Lilith and Nama. We know there's a devil hierarchy with ranking system. It's based all on power, and Zagred is a high-ranked devil, but Lilith and Nama are supreme devils, which is above high rank, and they're not on the list. So, Lilith Nama, not on the list. You know who else is on the list? Dante. 100% devil mana Dante is the equivalent of a supreme devil. He's not on the list. Saint Stage Valkyrie Noelle is not on the list. She was revealed before the show was out. She was just like no-diffed a spell from 100% Vanica. She's not on the list. Charlotte was defeating a Vanica that was on this list easily, and she's not on the list. Noct, who did Double Devil Union and was fighting 2 Supreme Devils at once, not on the list. And like when you just compare, like there's multiple characters who should not be on this list and multiple characters who should be, and then just like the actual quality of the writing is just very spotty with spelling errors. It's kind of sad that CBR gets to write this article to represent the Black Clover fandom, and people are going to read this and believe it's true because it's written by some huge website that covers comic books. It's very sad because it's a lot of misinformation. It's poorly written, and honestly, hopefully it changes. I really hope it does. Maybe there's ways that they could work around this so that articles could be better written while still getting the clicks, because honestly, I know for a fact I could write this article, get as many clicks, and write it much better, much more informative, much accurately, and I would not accidentally call Noelle back and forth in an article that is published on a website that gets millions of views a month. So if you'd like me to make my own Black Clover 15 strongest characters, let me know. And how would you want me to do it? A live stream? A video? How would you want me to do it? Because honestly, I don't know how it would be in a video format, because if I want to do it very accurately, it would be really long, and I don't know how long I want to make the video. Probably something less than 30 minutes, but if that's 15 characters, that's less than 2 minutes of talking per character. So let me know what you think I should do down below, a live stream or a long video. Let me know. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this video down below, your thoughts on this article, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...